video part of it, and I just skipped right over that chunk. I was like, I don't think we need this out on the internet anymore.
But it still is on the internet.
Yeah, but I don't want to like promote it more than it already is. Yo, I saw the Joker last week, Paul.
Yeah, dude.
Oh shit, I own it.
Do you?
Yeah. Josie bought it for me for our anniversary.
Hell yeah, man! I'm gonna buy it. That movie, we'll talk about it on the thing. It's the best movie I've ever.
You're gonna buy it? Oh, here she is.
What? I was just bringing waters down. What did I do?
You bought the Joker.
Yeah, I did buy the Joker.
That movie's so fucking good.
I thought so too. Paul, I told him that I was like, because I struggled with some mental health issues. I was like, I understand this dude. Like this movie, like hits a
100%
level of something that I can't explain. Yeah, see,
Yeah,
don't
I
be
was like, so we're
That seems like a red flag, right?
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Because people like Ray and I are self-aware. Like I tried to explain to Paul, I was like, some people have a better upbringing and better, like, they have more resources
White
to
as
not be
hell.
a crazy fuck. Yeah, me too.
Has decent parents.
they're all right. But I
That
was
doesn't
like
mean
watching.
that he doesn't struggle with mental illness or mental
But
health
I was like
issues.
watching it, and I was like, "You're supposed to be on this guy's team the whole time, right?" Like,
Yeah.
That's
the
kinda
main
how I
point of the
felt.
Yeah.
Movie.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Anyway.
I don't even know if you can check his mic. Go ahead.
Dude,
I don't know how I feel about all that.
You don't
Yeah.
agree?
So I saw the movie in theaters. I am a huge fan
Are you
of the
talking about
movie.
Sunday podcast? Are we ruining this?
I mean, we'll start once you're done.
I'm done.
Oh, okay.
I'm just listening.
You're just gonna stand
I'm
over us and
wrong,
watch the
I
whole
just
time?
forgot. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we've all seen clothed women without bras before.
Well, I just forgotten.
Dare
It's
you.
just- It's a little chilly down here, and I'm just standing here. And
Alright.
porn exists.
This is-
And
yeah.
nothing nobody's never seen before. I
Yeah.
get it. Okay.
Alright. Cool. We got somebody live in studio.
Yeah.
This rarely happens.
She just already chimed in, like right off the rip.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
No,
Well, you're in my house.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fair.
That is true.
Yeah.
At
You're in
least
our house.
our house.
I lived here first, though. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Cool.
You're not on mic.
I didn't think I was. They're not recording yet.
Yeah, we are recording.
You can.
Oh, we are.
You can edit this.
Damn.
That's always. You can always like see the the part. I always watch it when he clicks.
Oh.
You don't know what's going on.
Okay. Sorry.
It's
I'm
fine.
just here for aesthetic.
Okay.
So it's Thursday night. We usually do this on like
Sunday morning.
Sunday
I'm
morning,
usually
Sunday
in
afternoon.
bed, so.
Yeah, she's usually in bed, so we don't have to deal with that.
Yes.
So this is gonna be an odd thing. No, I'm fine, thank you. This is on video as well. I'm fine.
All good.
Cool.
I'm leaving. Bye.
Bye,
Do
Josie.
your thing. Have good luck.
Do you know what? You're doing great.
I'm annoying.
No.
I get it.
Oh Jesus. How do I feel like we're all in trouble now?
What are you talking
I
about?
don't know. Whatever. So before we were unrudely interrupted in somebody's house.
Yes.
How's your Thursday going?
It's okay. It's
You
alright.
seem more like lively and ready to go.
I am much more of a night owl.
Yeah.
And we typically do this like an hour after I wake up on Sunday morning. So
At like 1 in the afternoon.
okay, that's my fucking business.
Okay.
Like, not everyone in this room is sober. Okay, calm down. But yeah, it's been a long day. It's been a trying week.
Okay.
In general,
Are you putting your grace in God to get you through this?
It's funny that you should mention that because sometimes you need rough days like this just as a gentle reminder that, like, when you're that far low, the only way to look is up, and that's what's important. That's what gets us through.
I don't want to like introduce this as a theme to the podcast.
What do you mean?
I just don't want like a Silas phase to come in soon. Like
I don't know what you're
I
talking
need
about.
you to, like, I understand that you had a trying week.
Yes.
And I've seen where this goes. Like, if you're just, like, left alone to your devices for about another day and a half. Like,
Yes.
I'm glad that we did this today.
Okay.
Because I'm going to get you out of this tailspin
Okay.
and keep you from creating your own religion.
Okay.
Because I mean, I'm fine with us creating a religion,
Yes.
but you can't be like we can't. God damn it! I didn't want to make a Kobe Bryant joke, but like for a helicopter to work,
Yeah.
you need like the top rudder and the back rudder to work at the same time.
Okay.
There's two pieces.
Right.
When one of them fails, or when one of them's not around to stop the other one from fucking up, you end up losing a legend. Like that's. So I'm glad that we did this. I'm glad that we can get right in the middle of that happening.
Awesome.
Because I'm also in a minor tailspin.
Are
So,
you?
Yeah, I'm glad
Okay.
that we're here together.
It's almost like we're synced.
yes.
If you've noticed, like when we go through things, it's typically like separate but together at the same time.
Separate but equal.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Like we're big fans of that on this podcast.
Yeah,
You already came. You straight up. I was listening like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Just to like see what we had already covered.
Yeah.
And like the instant I said separate but equal, you're like, I'm in.
I was listening to that one on like Monday or something.
Oh yeah, if you could say it to, now that we have a camera, if you could say it to the camera so they know it's not the white guy saying that I'm
I do get camera shy. Oh God.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, but we were talking about the Joker before we started recording.
Yeah.
And like, legitimately, that movie had like it. I don't want to say it changed my life because I'm not like a white woman who saw like Little Women or something like that.
Yeah.
Where they like just ignore the Civil War that's going on there. But
Yeah.
like the Joker was just like, this is a world that I would thrive in. Like just that.
Yeah.
Like as soon like the same thing with the Batman that had the Joker in it with Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
Like I completely.
That complete chaos that
Just-
exists in someone's mind.
That's what I was made
Yeah.
for. Like when things get crazy, that's like calming for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just like when my brain's bouncing around all the goddamn time. So when
Yeah.
he's sitting there and he just like is, I mean, it's been out long enough, so we're not gonna spoil it. But when he shoots fucking De Niro like right through the face, I'm just like, I get it.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even like
Yeah.
the only one that I didn't get, and I know like the guy threw him under the bus, but when he stabbed that guy in the neck with the scissors or whatever, I was
What
like,
do you mean?
like in his apartment.
Yeah.
I was
Why
like-
don't you get that?
It was kind of out of left field.
I feel like that was the only justified murder.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I thought the ones on the train were fine, like because they were fucking with him. I thought that was perfectly fine. The De Niro one, like he made fun of him on national TV, so it was like one of those like you find somebody who has wronged you on that level.
Yeah, but okay, I see where you're coming from. I do
Yeah.
see where you're coming from. I think that for me,
Mm-hmm.
I see it a little bit differently. I think that it was. So first off, we can just put it out there right now. Phenomenal movie.
Right.
Everybody can agree.
Right.
I have actually not met anyone who did not like that movie.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, phenomenal.
And I don't like movies. Like I don't. Like I went
It
on.
takes a lot to hold my
Yeah,
attention
for
for
a
as
new
long
movie.
as that movie
For
was.
a new movie,
Yeah.
it's very hard. And
Yeah.
that movie, like, that's the guy who made the fucking Hangover.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's crazy. But sorry, finish your point.
I just think that I don't know. I identified with it on a different level than you did, I think, and I'm sure that you're going to get more into that. For me, it was more about being more aware
Mhm.
of like the people around you and how something that's not a big deal to you can really affect people. You know what I mean? Not to go on like an anti-bullying thing because it's like significantly more mature than that. But you never know like the state of someone's mind.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's extremely important.
But see, that's what I got from that movie is, like, I would by no means say that, like, I was raised by an insane woman who adopted me and then tried to peg it on, like, like Thomas Wayne or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
by no means was that the story. But,
Right.
like, you kind of get, like, he lived this lie the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's been
Unbeknownst to him.
unbeknownst to him, and obviously, like, he had mental problems, like, and that's why he was in, like, that counseling and all that shit.
Right.
And then, like, to me, it was like a real crazy, like, class struggle movie.
Yeah.
That was the angle I got off of it, because I forget who I was texting about it, but, like, it was kind of part of like the Heath Ledger Joker, like a little bit, and like even like the third Batman played with it a little bit. But like this one, it was just like front and center because he was like poor.
Yeah.
The Waynes like overlooked the city, and he was like running for politics and all that shit.
Yeah.
And then like all of his shit gets cut, and then he's just like left on his own because he's poor, living in this shithole, and he's like already crazy.
Yeah.
And it's just like he gets fired from his clown job, and it's so funny because I can just kind of like, what I think it's a good movie is like it's such a mirror on the world right now.
Yeah.
Where like I think that's why everybody likes it is because everybody one feels something from that movie, whether you identified with it, whether it scared you, whether it like made you worried about psychopaths just like hanging out everywhere.
Yeah.
Or like, but like it just hits your emotions really well, and it just gives that look like the coverage beforehand. I remember somebody finally was just like, do you want there to be a shooting at these movies? Because remember what like the coverage before was like, this is going to stir up people to kill people. And it's like, did you want them to kill people? Because I know that'd be great news and you'd make a whole bunch of money. I kind of feel like that's what you want.
But why are you putting that into the...
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like, I could see where somebody is like, I want to be careful with it because I don't want to be like, it's justified just to go kill people who are picking on you. Because at a certain point, that's part of life. You like get better. Like, if somebody points that out to you, you're like, yeah, do you know what? Maybe I should work on this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the comedy thing, like, you see so many people being at open mics and everything. And that's kind of, like, the cool angle to it is, like, I've seen 100 of those guys that, like, go up on stage. And, like, I've also had those moments where you're like, I'm fucking killing it right now. I don't care what's going on. I can't hear anything around me.
Yeah.
Then you get off stage and somebody's like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
And it's just like, and you're just like, no, that was great. Like, this is what I've been living for.
Right.
And, like, so I get that angle of it, but, like, that's one of those things where you're just like, what I got from it is be nice to people. Because you don't know what they're going through. And, like, you don't have to just be, because we've talked about it, you don't have to be, like, nice to a fault. Like, you can, like, just be cordial. Like, like, when he was in that chick's house that he thought he was dating or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that could have gone so much worse. I was like, dude, the rest of them are fine, but do not kill this lady just because you're crazy, or, like, her daughter or something. And just because she was, like, nice to him.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of diffused him for a minute. And it was like, that's all he needed was somebody else to be like, hey, man, like, what's going on?
I don't know. It's kind of... I think that the part that really stuck out to me and kind of, like, stayed with me for a couple of days after I saw this movie was that, like, throughout the whole, like, first half of the movie, I guess you could say, he, like, you already know he doesn't give a fuck about his job. He doesn't like being a clown.
Right.
He doesn't like people talking to him like shit. He doesn't like going to counseling. He doesn't like anything about his life, but the only thing that he has to, like, care for is his mother.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the little shred of humanity that's keeping him, like, as level-headed as he can be.
For sure.
Only to find out that all of it's a sham.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, his mom was insane. Not even really his mom. Like, it was a lot. It was a whole lot.
Well, that's like, again, fuck it, we'll pull the curtains back. Like, I grew up in, like, why hold it back? Like, I grew up in, like, an alcoholic household.
Sure.
Where, like, and again, it's not to the same level, but
Yeah.
you're, like, this whole structure that you grow up with until you're, like, old enough to realize it is just, like, this is just the way things are. And, like, you take, like, that person is your parent. And then, like, once you're old enough and you, like, just see them, like, throwing up all over themselves or, like, trying to drive drunk, like, you're just like, oh, like, the whole fucking, yes. Sorry, ages 16 to 19 for me are so funny for you, Paul.
God!
That's the best part about this podcast. It's like, you're triggering me, Paul, and I don't appreciate it. I'm going to make sure that everybody knows not to record podcasts here. But, I'm going to cancel you. That's fine, whatever, it doesn't matter. But no, like, then you're just like, oh, well, fuck. Like, nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody, like, it's all fake. It all doesn't matter. Like, I say it all the time. Like, the world's not real. Like, especially... But it's not. Like, it's just, like, especially, like, we can even tie it into the Kobe Bryant thing. Like, I made, like, a quick, like, Hillary Clinton killed Kobe Bryant joke. It was hilarious. Like, it was...
Poor taste, but...
Yeah, but it was funny. Like, and it's... Excuse me. It's one of those things where it's, like, when none of it matters, you can, like, look at it and just be like, there it is. Like,
right.
You can find, like, that thing that some people are missing. Like... And to a fault, like, yes, it was tasteless and it was in poor taste and it was quote-unquote too soon. I completely understand where people would be pissed about it. I'm not like one of those people who are like, wow, fuck it. That's like, that's almost my job or, like, certain people's job. It wasn't like, fuck his family, fuck his dog. Like, it was like, there's something here. And it's my job to find something funny about this. And then you just, like, there it is. You just put those two together, throw it out there, and it's fine. Nobody gets hurt from it.
Right.
Like, his family's not seeing my joke. Anthony Jeselnik does, like, half of a special about that, where, like, he got fired for a Boston bombing tweet, and, like, a bunch of other people were going to get fired, so he deleted the tweet, because it wasn't about, like, him at that point. It was about the rest of his show.
Yeah.
So, like, for himself, he's like, when everybody's putting up hopes and prayers, or, like, pray for the family, that's for the person writing that. That is not for their family. Their family's not going to see that.
Right.
They don't give a shit.
Right.
Like, they just had the worst day of their life. The
and
last
at the
thing
end
they're
of
doing.
The day, the last thing that they're doing is hoping that people pray for them.
Or going online to
Right.
look and see what people are saying about it. And I mean, now maybe they are, like, but it's still, I don't know. It's like this, I almost find it, like, as soon as you realize nothing's real, you can see that, like, you can live a real life. You know what I mean?
Do you so you talked a little bit about, like, growing up and, like, the struggles that you had at that point and everything, and I identify with that in a little bit of a different way, and I don't mean to turn this into, like, a whole, like, expose or anything, but, like, do you remember the
Thursday night podcasting, bro? We're doing
this is getting deep. Like,
this is why we do it in the morning.
Yeah, we should not have this much power. Like, this is not good. But do you remember the point in your life that you realized that the way you grew up was not the way everybody else grew up? And, like, the struggles that you had, not everybody had them. And some people, like, no offense to you or your family or my family, some people just had normal families.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and that was earth-shattering for me.
Dude, I remember, you actually, so, the girl that I had, like, dated forever, we had broken up. I was working for a campaign, ended up dating a girl that I met through there, and I just remember the whole time, I was like, this bitch is so boring. Cause, like,
no tragedy,
no like,
drama.
Like, no, you're just like, so you just, like, come home and you're fine?
Yeah,
like, you don't have to, like, and it's just, like her family was, like, still around and, like, nice and, like, supportive and, like, go live your dreams, and my family was like, you better not waste all this money. Like, it was just like, and you're just like, what the fuck, man?
No, I get it. I totally get it.
And it's, but yeah, that was, like, kind of at that point where you're just like, all right, she's right in this. Like, she did it right. Like, they did it right.
Right.
My family did it wrong. We need to find, like, a middle ground somewhere. Obviously, it didn't work out because we're not dating anymore. But, like, I almost, Paul is just, Drunk Paul is, like, our demographic for this podcast. We can make Drunk Paul laugh. But, no, like, I was talking about it last night on the show. I had a show in Toledo last night, and it was, like, just every once in a while when I'm winging it, like, just things that you shouldn't say out loud in front of, like, normal people just fly out. And it was,
say it out loud, see how it feels.
Oh, all the time. And it's just, and here's the biggest things, I don't give a fuck. Like, it might hurt somebody's feeling for 2 minutes, but it's like, yeah, I'm making fun of you for something that you're doing that actually causes pain to people, like, I'm not wrong in pointing out that you're a shithead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm just sitting there, and it came up because the guy asked me for, like, my credits, and I go up on stage, and it was like, so he asked me for my credits, and, like, the only reason you would know me around here is if, like, you went to the dentist office my mom works at. And I dropped the dentist office, and, like, a table and a half, like, started cheering. And I was like, oh, so you know Linda. I was like, she's the reason why I'm on stage instead of having a real job.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And then they all laughed, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of funny, but it's also true.
Yeah.
And then I was like, if you know my dad, tell him I said hi. I haven't talked to him in 3 years. He's got a better family at home. And then everybody was just like, ooh. And I was like, oh, that was the funny part. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
And it was, I don't know, it was just weird, because, like, that shit just kind of, like, slides out. And I don't know why people are, like, afraid of that shit. Like, I'm the one who has to live with it. And if I'm standing there making fun of it, why do you feel bad about it? Like, I know that that's not your thing.
I think that I don't necessarily know that people feel bad. I think that it's one of those things where they're like they don't know how to respond. And is this a crowd that you feel like frequents comedy shows?
I don't know. It was in a Mexican joint. Like,
I'm gonna say no.
I like the spot. Like,
Yeah.
it's a cool spot, and it's like a newer thing.
Yeah.
But it was like a stage, and it was the most Toledo thing in the entire
It
world.
sounds like it.
Because it was like, the restaurant was great, the food was good,
Yeah.
the guy who runs the show's great. The whole show went fine. I left after my set, so I assume it went fine because I did fine. And but like, they had like a chalkboard. Like, there's a piano on the stage, and they had a chalkboard saying that they played like Creole jazz on there.
Okay.
So like, it's just like, that's the one spot where they try to have culture in Toledo. Like,
Yeah.
it's so like they just shove it all into one restaurant. So it was very Toledo, but yeah, it was. I think that they were, like, they seemed mostly cultured. Like, it wasn't terrible. Like, that's kind of something that every time I go back to Toledo, it's almost funny. Like, it's a completely different place than I was used to growing up there.
Mhm.
It's not that I would ever move back, because there's 7 people in Toledo. There's
Right.
just like 100,000 of each one of those people. And
Right.
you're like, oh, I've met you before. And but it's I don't know. It's a completely different time and a spot there. Like, cause like they were I brought it up on here before. They were the fucking Nazi riots when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And now it's just like nice white people down the street from like a homeless shelter eating Mexican food on a Wednesday night,
Yeah.
laughing at my stupid jokes. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, this shouldn't be happening.
So you're not moving to Toledo.
No,
Okay.
I'd kill myself.
Okay. Okay.
Like, you get to move to. Did you watch fuck, Paul, you know this. What's the superhero show on Amazon?
The Boys.
The Boys. Did
No.
Oh, like at a certain point, like the guy who's supposed to be like their Aquaman or whatever
No.
gets sent to fucking Sandusky,
Ooh.
like as a punishment. And I was like, I get it. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Fucking rough.
the fucking Bachelor was in Cleveland this week.
Dude.
And it was, I'm telling you, if you have never watched The Bachelor, I need you to give a half hour to this last episode.
I'm not doing it.
I'm telling you, best television I've ever seen. Like, Chris Harrison, the producer of The Bachelor, walks into, like, the Bachelor mansion that's in LA, and, like, the Bachelor's always like, we're going to fucking Prague, or we're going to, like, Spain.
Yeah.
And, like, he walks in, it's like, our first trip is to a place of love and laughter and rock and roll. We're going to beautiful Cleveland, Ohio. And just, like, all the chicks were just, like, it took, like, a beat for them to even pretend to want to go. And, like, all the B-roll just made it look like ass. Like, and it was just, they went to Cedar Point, and, like, you could see, like, the fucking, like, the mold of, like, the thing on the thing. Like, it was all cracked and shitty,
Oh
like,
my
it's falling
God.
apart. And I was like, you guys did a great job. Like,
Dude.
Cleveland's not the best city, but it's not as bad as they made it seem.
I am not meant to live in Cleveland.
Where do you think you're meant to live?
I think so. I've actually been thinking about this a lot,
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm meant to live in either Vegas or LA.
Yeah.
I feel like those are my spots.
You're like, are you sick of like moisture in your nose, or?
What are you talking about?
You gotta put some like talcum powder up there to dry it out, or
What are you talking about?
going to a spot with a lot of cocaine there, son.
That's not what it's about.
Just kidding.
Sometimes it's about like
Jobs,
industry
yeah,
and
the whole thing's
and
about
art
industry.
and food and fine wines. You
Yeah,
know?
large buffet.
Large buffet.
The great culinary scene of Las Vegas, where you pay for your food with a free voucher.
Okay, have you ever been to Las Vegas?
Why would I go to Vegas? I don't drink. I don't like strippers. I don't like
You
gambling.
don't drink as of yesterday.
It's been it'll be 6 months in April, so.
Yesterday.
It's been 3 months. Like, what is
April?
What is like, what a dumb way to, like, start time.
Okay.
I know April's 6 months from October, so, like, that's what I went for.
Wow.
This is gonna be, when this comes out, it'll be the Super Bowl. So this will be the first sober Super Bowl. That's gonna be tough.
Why are you doing this? Why are you staying sober?
Like, I just feel better.
About what?
Just life. It honestly helps me, like, rebound from things quicker. Like, it'll be like, if I have, like, a bummer day, and it would just be like, I'm just gonna go get hammered. And then, like, you wake up hungover, and you're just like, oh, I was drinking because I didn't feel good, and now I feel like shit. And then it's just, like, a big, like, 8-year tailspin. Like, it's
Do you feel like you have changed since you stopped drinking?
a little bit.
Okay.
Like, I have way less patience for things. I don't like sitting still as much, unless I'm, like, at home. But, like, if I'm in public, I'm just like, why am I just sitting here?
Okay.
Like, we've had it, like, the whole idea behind this stupid fucking podcast is, like, I mean, I love it. You should subscribe and download and all that other stupid dumb shit. But, like, we could just sit at a bar for 6 hours and just talk shit and just, like, slam shots and drinks. And, like, now, if I did that, I'd kill myself. Like,
So you realize that none of the
none of that stuff you have to have alcohol for, but it makes it bearable. Like, when's the last time you sat with somebody for 6 hours that you weren't sleeping, that you didn't have, like, a drink? Yeah, like, it's
Nothing?
yeah, it's
Let me think. Give me a fucking minute. God.
the fucking staff is very into this podcast
Sorry.
today. I just wanted to call you the staff.
Does
I don't
work
really
count?
give a fuck.
Yeah, well.
No, work doesn't count.
Okay, then I guess never. I don't know.
Yeah,
Never in my adult years.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I mean, I'm sure at your current job you'd never indulge in a drink or two while you're on the job, but I know at our last.
That's a lie.
Well, okay, I didn't want to throw you under the bus.
I don't care. I'm
Like-
I'm the bus driver. Fuck
Dude,
it.
I know at fucking the dealership that we work for, after 5, it was Irish coffees all night. Like,
Popping bottles of champagne.
dude, as soon as she left, like,
Yeah, she got lit.
dude, it'd be like, hey, like, it got so bad we stopped buying, like, a
The
bottle.
house vodka.
Well, that was her house vodka. Like, I would have we'd stopped having, because when Jen left, you're probably on camera too, there, buddy boy.
Oh, God forbid I smoke in my house?
Oh, it's a cigarette. I thought you was weed. Sorry.
Who cares?
How dare you again? I don't smoke weed.
Oh, true. We're in a weed legal state.
This is. There's a lot
There's
happening
chaos.
tonight.
This is why we do it on Sundays.
Yeah.
Like, this is.
Yeah. This is a fucking
Like,
lie.
here's the thing. I was home in sweatpants. I was about to indulge in some vitamins as well, and then I was like, oh, fuck. I gotta go talk on the goddamn internet.
Literally.
And 17 people are gonna listen to it.
Marlboro.
Did you just want to pull a mic up at this point?
No, I just was showing the camera. Get fuck off. This will get cut.
No, it's fine. This is all a part of the experience here. But
The ambiance.
ambiance. We do need a candle. That's
I'll get one.
for those. Yeah. So we used to go to Brico, and like there would be like those little shitty tea candles. And they kept going out, and I was like, we're at dinner, and I'm like, can we get another candle? Like, keep
Keep in mind though, we're at a table with like 9 people and one waitress.
At least. And I'm like, yeah, we need another candle. Like, I was throwing a bitch fit.
We're like, it's ruining my meal.
And then, like, this is what was the best part about Classy Dinner, and like, I put it online at some point, and somebody was like, you shouldn't treat people like that. So, like, Bill Stone, listen, this is how you act at, like, a fine dining establishment, not a Chili's. When you're paying $50 for your own meal and drink alone, you expect a certain amount, and I, like...
You consider a $50 meal fine dining?
Not fine dining, but it's not $10, 3 for $10. Like,
okay.
It's, like...
Fair.
And I'm on, like, my second martini of the night, and the tea light goes out, I'm having a good time, and you say things like, I want a goddamn candle, or I'm leaving, and I won't tip you. And then when they bring it back, and you're like, I'm sorry for throwing a fit, we do this every once in a while, everybody will tip you very well for how shitty we've been. Like, and that is, like, I know that's not how you treat somebody, but... At least at the end of the night, when, like, they get a tip the same size as the bill, they're like, at least this was worth stealing.
That girl got, like, a $200 tip.
Like, at least.
Yeah, she got a lot. And that's still not an excuse for you to say that the candle going out was ruining your meal and destroying the ambiance of our dinner. But...
All things that are true.
Okay.
Who are you to tell me that a candle's not ruining my meal? Taste is
what?
Taste is not. It's taste and smell. And if I want
the smell of a tea light,
yeah. If I want shitty neutral scented wax, to help with my banana pepper stuffed with chorizo. I will get a tea light.
Okay.
You are cancer.
Okay, fine, fuck it, man. Whatever you say, whatever you fucking say.
But that's like, I don't know. At least it was like.
Can I ask you a question though?
Yeah, go for it.
Do they have tea lights at the Stowe Tavern?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, I love the Stowe Tavern.
I know you do. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, Stowe Tavern, if you're listening, I will sponsor you for 1 free meal a week. How about that?
That's not a deal.
It's a deal for them.
Okay.
They get like dozens of people listening to this.
Okay.
and I get a free burger.
Okay. All right, man. Hey.
Ashley can pay for her own shit. I just want my meal
just
for
one meal.
Yeah.
Not a free bill.
No.
A free plate.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Dude, we used to drop a coin in that place.
You probably paid the light bill many a time.
For the, like, it would be. That's one of the other reasons, like, why I quit drinking is like it's so much cheaper to go out now, especially to Stowe Tavern, because like our bill would be like, excuse me, no lie, after tip $80 at a fucking side corner bar thing. Because I'm like, if we have to, we can roll home, and I'm slamming shots and beers, and now like our bill's like $30 with tip.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like it doesn't make sense.
I get it.
But it's great food.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Alright. I'm not going to drive all the way to Stowe to go to Stowe
All
Tavern.
the way to Stowe.
Yeah. Do you realize how many fucking restaurants I pass on the way to get a same quality burger? Pass.
Dude, I'm going to be so hyped when they sponsor us and be like, it's worth the drive from Stowe!
You know damn well I will sell out to anybody who gives us money.
Yo, you were just
free
talking about
food.
Tip Top. How many breakfast places do you drive by to get to Tip Top?
I've been to Tip Top once.
Oh, it's the best.
I mean, it's okay.
I want this.
It's good.
I want this podcast to be completely sponsored by Stowe. Like, I just want the Stowe Chamber of Commerce to drop money on
You
this.
bring them Stowe Billies on in here.
Gonna get into Stowe Century.
Yep. The what?
The Stowe Century.
What the fuck is that?
It is a newspaper. Wow, newspaper. We're going off the rails. Thursday nights are wild.
Jesus.
Thirsty Thursdays here on Classic Dinner Podcast.
I don't know why. I just feel like by the end of this, I'm gonna end up being fired for this.
That's fine. I'm gonna start drinking again. And
Yep. That's where we are.
But like, no, Paul, I'm fine. But Dylan just texted me. Oh yeah, go read the guestspot.net. Jesus, are we that far in already?
What?
Oh, Stowe Century. It's like
Yeah.
this shitty newspaper that they just shove in your mailbox. Like, it's
Okay.
free. It's a Stowe thing. Chris Clem loves it because they gave him a good write-up in it one time.
Is it like part of the record publishing group?
I don't know.
Oh.
It's not like part of like the Record Courier or anything like that.
Okay,
It's
that's
just,
the record publishing
I
group.
assume.
so-
I think they got bought out.
No, they're still the record publishing group.
Oh. What's the one I'm thinking of?
GA Media or whatever it's
Well,
GE
the one for
Media.
Kent. That's not the Record Courier, is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool. Doesn't matter. Nobody reads that fucking bullshit anymore anyway.
That's not true.
Dude, do you remember? Do they still have the sound offs? When's the last time that you?
I don't know.
I used to read. I used
skim,
to
like
when I worked in politics. I would have to read it every day. Like that was part of my job to like
Mhm.
see if something was coming up that like my candidate need to go to. And so I like my prize for dealing with that fucking horseshit was reading the sound offs because like that was like their letters to the editor. It's like for the people in Portage County because there's like large chunks of Portage County that don't have internet still. Like it's insanity. And so like it's like Twitter for people who don't have Twitter, and they just like send in the most nonsense shit. Like somebody like put like the outline of it is like they didn't say names. I don't know if they omitted the names or whatever, but like the whole caption was like she deserves what she gets for having premarital sex and buying cigarettes 50 cents more than without a coupon. Like it was just complete nonsense.
what?
Yeah, and like people would just like call. I don't know if they had to call in or email it in or what, but like they just like put it in there and it'd just be like, I don't care what the president says. I think he's a Muslim, like all the time because this was Obama times, and like it'd just be like the most crazy shit. And it'd be like the Circle K on Portage Street is charging 2 cents more for cigarettes than the one down the street. Don't give them your business. Like stupid shit like that.
Breaking news in the community.
Dude, it's so great. And I would post them every once in a while because it's just the most ridiculous shit. And you're just like, I'm glad that these are the people that are in this world.
Yeah, man.
That's the best.
I guess if you say so.
I don't know. I like chaos. I think that there's not
I've
enough of
gathered.
it. But that's it. Like people, like they want us. I shared a 1984 quote yesterday because like people want this like nice, fun, sanitized like world where like nothing hurts you and like somebody's gonna take care of you all the time. We don't want the bad people doing anything.
Yeah.
And like that's what we're working towards on both sides. I don't want to say it's like a left thing or a right thing.
Yeah.
But like the whole world's dirty and gross in a gray area, and once you embrace it, it's just so much more fun. Like if I can look at somebody complaining that cigarette prices are 2 cents higher at a gas station, I'm like, can you imagine how fun their life might be for like a day that's something you care about? Like imagine all the other crazy shit they do. Like that just be to follow that person around would be the greatest day of my life. Like if I could find a way to get paid, I want to be a documentarian of just like insane people. Find a way to monetize following crazy people. That's all I want to do.
You know, you really are like just like a fucking chaotic person.
Yeah.
Because like the thought of being surrounded by shit like that makes me want to hang myself.
Oh, that makes me so like once like you know that moment before like it always happens at a bar, and that's almost what I miss about not drinking is like you'll be in a bar, we'll call it 1:15 in the morning, and like somebody will say something like slightly off color towards somebody, not even like racist or anything like that, but like you can hear like somebody starting to raise their voice a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you just like feel that like stillness in the air where everybody's paying attention to like the loud person, and then like that moment before you don't know what's gonna happen, that's the best moment in life.
You are describing anxiety.
Oh, I have anxiety all the time.
That's in a nutshell. That's what that is.
Yeah,
So
when
you
when
want
things
to
are
live in a constant state.
No, but here's the thing. When things are too still, I can pay attention to my own anxiety. When things are starting to like rustle and get crazy, you're like, oh, this is where I live. Like, I was born in the dark. Like, you just adopted it.
Oh
like,
my fucking
and
god!
it's like, and you're just like, this is the best. Like, you're like, nobody knows what to do.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, nothing ever happens, because that's the best part about it, is there's 99 out of 100 times, nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But like, the one time that it does, like, it's real, it gets insane, and it's fun, and then everybody's like, that was absolutely crazy, I can't believe that happened. And it's like, I can't believe that doesn't happen more. Like, it's a fucking middle of the night, there's 100 people in this bar, and everybody's drinking and bumping into each other, and like, it's 0 degrees outside, so everybody's pissed off. Like, I'm surprised that it doesn't happen more.
Bar fights?
Yeah.
I mean, they may not happen in like Kent, but I feel like bar fights in general are pretty common. Kent is not a good sample size for the rest of the world.
I've been in places like that, other spots. Paul, but if thought corrupts language, language can also corrupt thought. Is that a 1984 quote too?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I love 1984. I think everybody should have to read that book as an adult. Like, they do a really good job of like putting that shit into your brain when you're like 15, and then you're like, I'm not gonna read this bullshit, and then like they kind of co-opt it, because you always, when somebody says, oh, 1984,
Yeah.
like, you think of like a dystopian future where the government runs everything, so automatically you're like, oh, this is crazy, but then you just like, in the book, it's like the people were complicit, like it happened because the people let it happen. And like, you just see so many things, like so many parallels in the world.
Yeah.
Like the one that I shared, I'll pull it up real quick, because it was like, shut the fuck up, Paul. You just looked one up too. Reality exists in the human mind and nowhere else, not in the individual mind, which can make mistakes, and in any case soon perishes, only in the mind of the party, which is collective and immortal. Like, that shit is just like 100% like what's going on now. Like, you can't make a Kobe Bryant joke because it's like too soon, because everybody says it's too soon. Like, that kind of shit gets me, because it's like, the point of somebody saying too soon is like you said, it was too soon, the timing wasn't great, but it's funny. And basically the idea is you're waiting for somebody else to be like, alright, that's funny. To like be able to be like, okay, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, but I mean, comedy's subjective.
And it is. I mean, but but it's also like, you're also saying that you know that it's funny, but will you stop texting me and just say it out loud? You fucking psycho. I left it at home. This is how my brain works, Paul. Like, it's not...
Dude,
He asked where my joint was. Like, I'm high right now. Like, this is me straight sober.
That's the most troubling part about this.
Yeah, it's crazy. I do drugs to like stop this.
I guess I think that the part about like you that puzzles me the most,
Yeah.
is that like you love this chaotic nature, and the world isn't real, nothing actually exists.
Yeah.
But you, the second
That I leave here, I'm gonna go home, throw jammies on, and cuddle with my dog and my girlfriend, and then go to bed.
like a bitch.
Yeah,
Like you talk so much shit.
it's not talking shit. That's like that. I don't know. Maybe that's why like I don't work well in like in my time. I have
What? All right.
No,
Okay.
in my time, like not when I have to be out in society,
Yeah.
not when I have to deal with other people. Like I have created my own little corner to hide from like all the bad things.
Okay.
Like, so I have built up my ecosystem to rest for the chaos that is the world.
Okay.
In my perfect world, like I was just thinking about it, and it's a conversation that Ashley and I have like frequently
Frequently?
frequently
Gotcha.
is like and it always comes, like, I have never found a good way to say it out loud without sounding like I'm being an asshole, but it's like, if it wasn't for, like, her and the dog and the cat, like, I could live out of the back of my car and just, like, bounce from town to town doing my stupid nonsense jokes. Like, that, to me, sounds great.
Okay.
But I also, like, enjoy having, like, a nice soft bed to go home to and somebody to, like, bounce ideas off of and, like, genuinely enjoy their presence as a stabilizing force in my life. But if I didn't have that, I could just be, like, fucking out and about, bebopping around, fucking out in bars until 3:30 in the morning. I probably wouldn't drink, but I'd probably be doing other stuff more. But it's just, like that just seems, it's so freeing not to have to, like, deal with anything else and, like, deal with the chaos of everything. Like, I legitimately...
Okay, that's probably the sanest thing you've said since we started.
Well, here we go. We're gonna take it right back. I legitimately have dreams of being homeless every once in a while. Like, to legitimately have just, like, completely failed and have no expectations.
You have problems.
Yes. But could you imagine waking up every day and just being like,
this is my box.
I legitimately do not have to do anything.
You ain't got a shower. You ain't got no water.
Yeah,
I get you.
Who am I showering for anyways? The guy in the box next to me hasn't showered either.
Okay. Okay. Wow. So you strike me as, like... So you know, like, that, like, shows like that shit, like, Scared Straight, where those kids, like, act super hard and then they go to jail for, like, a second and they're like, ooh, never mind.
I wouldn't deal well in jail.
I know you wouldn't, but my point is, I think that you need to spend, like, 6 hours homeless.
We did stuff like that.
Who is we? What do you mean?
I took a class in junior high.
On being homeless?
We had to do, like, life experiences, and, like, one of them was, like, sleeping in a box outside.
Yo, Toledo is wild. Y'all are crazy as
dude. I'm telling you.
Like, this is the kind of shit white people do.
It's crazy. Like, people don't believe me. I even told the joke last night in Toledo, and I'm from the suburbs, but, like, at some point there should be an overlap of that it happens somewhere else and not just to me, making me think that I'm insane. A yo-yo practitioner came into my school and showed us how to yo-yo for an afternoon, and then they tried to sell us yo-yos.
Okay.
That's, like, that was the day at school. Like, so... And you're just like, this is insane. Like,
that's more normal than
that's
taking
not normal.
than taking an entire class and making them sleep in fucking boxes.
It was part of, like, a social studies class, like, to give you, like,
social studies. What does that have to do with social studies?
You have to learn that, like,
that homeless people exist.
Yeah, I guess, dude. It's
so. I feel like there's a lot of homeless people in Toledo.
Not really.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised by that.
There's not. I don't think Toledo, like, it was scary. It was Wednesday.
That's white privilege when even the meth heads have homes.
Wednesday at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Downtown Toledo was a fucking ghost.
Okay.
Nobody was there.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's a city. Like, it's a shitty city, but it's a city.
Yeah.
There should be, like, somebody.
Yeah.
And there wasn't anybody at, like, a bus stop. Like, there's a guy having a cigarette outside of, like, a bar. But, like, you could walk down the street, and then before I walked into this restaurant, you would have no idea that anybody lived in that goddamn city. It was insanity. It is a crazy place. Toledo is wild. Like, it doesn't make sense. It shouldn't be there.
So...
And it makes insane people. Like, it
clearly.
Just... Clearly.
That's fucking weird, man. That shit's not normal.
It's a wild town.
Every time you tell me about, like, your school experience, I hear some shit that I ain't never heard before in my life.
You want to hear some shit? 6th grade.
Oh man.
They took everybody, because we had too many kids for, like, them to go. So they took everybody, my year and my year only. Like, again, stuff that you say out loud that, like, doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And you're just like, it has to be in my brain. Like, this could not have happened in real life.
Mm-hmm.
They took all the 6th graders for a single year and put them in the original high school in Perrysburg. Like the school that was made in like 1906 or something like that.
Okay.
Like, they're like...
1906.
Yeah, that means 1906.
Fair enough.
But like,
1906.
yeah, but it's funnier to say 1906, Paul.
Got it. 1906.
O-T. Or O-U-G-H-T.
You got it.
Cool.
Get to the point.
So, like, but there were parts of this building that were condemned. Like, there were
Okay.
parts of the building we couldn't go to. And they made all these 6th graders, like, all these 12-year-olds, go to school there together for a year. Like, that's where 9/11 happened for me. Like, that is, like so many crazy things. And, like, the principal for your birthday would take you up to this bell tower
Oh my God! What?
to have lunch.
What?
And you would have to go through stairs that were fenced off because it was too dangerous to go on.
Where is this principal?
No. Never happened.
Like,
This is not real.
I'm
Never
telling you,
happened.
Someone else.
telling you.
If I demand,
Oh, yeah.
I demand that by the next podcast,
This
you have
giant,
someone in writing validate that this shit took
I'll find
place.
somebody.
this giant wizard.
Yeah.
To the top of the bell tower.
Yeah, a
for
phoenix
lunch.
died and it
The
rose
icing on the
again.
cake. The building is haunted. All right.
Sure.
Okay.
Why wouldn't it be?
I went to school at fucking Hogwarts, dude. Like Harry Potter. Like, this is what I'm saying. Nothing's real. Like, it's all made up. Harry Potter is something that I came up with in my brain to justify all this happening.
You're so rich. Just like JK.
But so like it's haunted by an old janitor that is my grandma's uncle.
Why is that funny?
It's just,
Go on.
I'm crying, but like it's just like of course, you know, like it just
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Okay. So, so first off, I want you. I want you to understand.
We're never doing this again.
I want you to understand the mental image that I have, which is you
Yeah.
wearing exactly what you're wearing,
Oh, I've looked the same for 20 years.
just like shrunken,
Yeah.
like a foot and a half, maybe,
like 200 pounds later.
going up some rickety fucking
Yeah,
steps
dude.
with some old man dressed
It's
in
a
a
woman.
wizard robe to like a candlelit
Like
lunch.
Professor McGonagall. With like a fucking scar on my head. God damn it. Dude.
Oh boy,
Dude, I'm telling you, it's all real.
dude.
The boy that lived.
Yeah. The boy who lived comfortably.
In Stowe.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Oh my God, we are never
Oh,
doing this again.
Crying. Such a bad idea.
I'm sorry.
Oh, dude, if this doesn't get us 1 million listens, I don't know what the fuck will.
Holy fuck.
Oh, god damn it, dude. Who do you think's gonna win the Super Bowl?
Dude, I don't fucking know, man.
I didn't make this list on my phone for no reason. Oh, fuck me, dude.
Dude.
See?
There's no way that happened.
Yeah, for real. Like,
There's
100%.
no way.
Like,
I refuse to believe
legit,
that took place.
the power just went out one day. Like, in the building, nowhere
Yeah.
else. Just power went out.
Yeah.
We just had school. Like,
In the dark.
Yeah, in the dark. Like, just like, hey, everybody go sit next to the windows. Like, alright. It was insanity, dude. Wow. Wild.
That's real fucking wild, dude.
Yeah.
God damn.
That's how you create a monster that enjoys. Like it's so dumb, and it's like that's why I always think it's funny when it's just like, oh,
I'm still on this bell tower shit.
yeah, dude, it's crazy. I'm telling you. Here's the best part. So after that 1 year, they knocked down the school, except for the old part. Like they just knocked down all of the good parts and kept the old part.
Is it a historical building?
Loosely, yeah.
Oh yeah, 1906.
1906? What the fuck does that mean?
You're canceled. Hang up.
I haven't paid Paul yet, so
Yeah.
the recording disappeared. I don't know.
Oh, delete.
Delete.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. I forgot the point of me bringing up my because the people were so hyped that like my mom worked at the dentist's office.
What?
Yeah.
No, they weren't.
Yeah, they were. 100. Like I have I need to find it. I haven't listened to the recording yet. But this guy, as I'm walking off the stage, he physically I thought he was going to shake my hand. So I go to shake his hand. He grabs my arm, pulls me towards him, and goes, "I like your mom because she isn't an asshole about me not flossing my teeth like the rest of." And I go, "Well, she's a receptionist, sir." That's not part of her job. Like, her job's to make sure you come back. It's just, yeah. It's been a crazy week, man.
Yeah, it has.
I'm glad we did this.
Yeah, this has really been something.
I feel lighter. I feel we're at home. You need to fill like 5 more minutes because we're going to have to cut all that part with that Josie was down here.
Yo, how dare you?
I mean, at this point, we might as well just leave it in.
Leave it in.
Just leave it all in. Like, Josh hasn't said anything problematic yet, so that could be our problematic part.
This isn't problematic.
No, you haven't said anything problematic. That's what I just said.
Are you concerned about the coronavirus?
You mean... The funny part of the coronavirus is that it's called the Wuhan virus. Like the fucking Busta Rhymes song. That's the funny part. Is it's the Wuhan virus, and everybody's like, "Oh, Corona the beer." It's like, no, there's a '90s rap song that goes Wuhan. Like, and we just let that pass.
You guys are the worst. Literal worst.
I don't know how we just let that pass.
I feel like probably we didn't think about that because people are actively dying. I feel like that's...
Only 10%. Shut the fuck up. I looked it up. There have been 99 confirmed cases, and only 11 have died. That's 100 people in a world of 6 billion, and 11 people have died, and we're freaking out about it. Sorry. I don't...
Well, it's good to know that some lives aren't important to you.
We got enough, you know? It's like if somebody came, like if you had $1 million and somebody came and stole $1, like would you be mad about it?
Yeah, and I prosecute the motherfuckers too.
You probably would.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, because that's my money. What do you mean? What are you shaking your fucking head for?
That's way funnier than coronavirus.
That's actually really fucking funny.
Yeah, dude. And I don't know. Like, nobody's paying attention anymore because I made fun of Kobe Bryant, so.
You shouldn't have done that.
I don't know. I bombed so hard most of the night on Monday. I did 3 sets, and like, one of them was actually important. Did not do well.
Yeah.
The second one, I was just bitching about the first set, and then the third one, Tattoo Chad was at Water Street.
Oh my god.
And,
Okay.
dude, like at that point on the I almost blacked out because I went last, and it was my 3rd set of the night, and I go, we're just sitting there, and he'd just be like, hodgepodge, like he's just yelling at everybody. And I was like, this is 100% why I quit drinking, is because like, he's got some points if you're hammered standing next to him. Like, you have no idea what he's saying, but you know he believes it, and he's got conviction, and you're just like, I'm with this guy. Like, I'm completely with it. But now that I'm sober, I was like, oh, that's insanity. Like, you can't do that. So many bad ideas from that. But is there anything else you want to cover in the next 5 minutes of this before we head out of here? What's your uneducated pick on the Super Bowl, since this is coming out on Super Bowl Sunday? It's the 49ers and the Chiefs.
Uneducated pick.
Here, let me tell you what the spread is.
I'm going.
Because I'm gonna find out what the spread is, so we can see if it's like something that we should tell people to bet on, because that's a new thing.
That's not legal yet.
It's legal in certain states if somebody listens to it outside of the state. So Kansas City
think the
is.
likelihood. Okay, go ahead.
Kansas City is. We got a download from Australia the other day.
Okay.
It's because a guy that I know from Pennsylvania was in Australia, but it doesn't matter. It still counts. It's on the map.
Yeah.
We're worldwide.
It was Dylan.
It wasn't Dylan. He lives in Reno. That's completely different
Fair
than
enough.
Australia.
My bad.
Kansas City, the Chiefs, are favored by 1.5 over the 49ers.
I'm going to 49ers.
Are you taking the points, or are you just doing it straight up?
Straight up.
Okay, cool.
You?
I'm thinking the Chiefs. I don't know. I mean, I know why, but like I almost want the 49ers to win just because, like, I don't know, it'd be cool to see like an old school Smash Mouth football team win. But I just think the Chiefs are gonna win it. Like they're crazy good.
Fuck yeah, man.
The reason why the whole point of bringing up the Super Bowl.
What?
Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
Shakira.
Yeah.
Super Bowl halftime.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Who wins?
Biggest ass contest?
Paul, this is a family show.
Biggest butt contest?
Gluteus Maximus?
Yeah.
Both born in 1906.
Alright, ending the show. There it is. Goodbye. Cheers to industry, motherfuckers. These cocksuckers.
Real quick. Shakira.
Shakira wins?
Yeah.
Back in their prime, who wins? J-Lo or Shakira?
Shakira.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah.
Hips don't lie, man.
Dude.
That, like, yeah, that's from that.
No, that's not Hips Don't Lie.
What song is that?
I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, honestly.
It's. I can remember the music.
Remember that one?
It's the one where she was like up against the wall and like doing the little floppy, like the hips thing. You're like, there's no reason. It's the one that's got fucking
The floppy.
Shut up! I'm trying to think. The one guy from the Fugees that like branched out.
Wyclef?
Yes.
That's Hips Don't Lie. But the tune that just came out of your mouth
was
was like Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, dude. Like just that music video, it came out in a very important time in my life. So, shout out to Shakira. Shout out to Paul being the third member of this podcast. Shout out to everybody who's listening to this, because that was a wild ride.
Dude, anybody who made it this far deserves like a t-shirt.
Way to go, Dylan.
We're gonna choose the industry and ended on that.
Yep. Cheers to industry, motherfuckers.
Oh, cheers to industry. Oh yeah, hey, welcome to Classy Dinner Podcast. Cheers to industry, Josh.
Oh, cheers, buddy.
Oh man, that's a tour de force of a podcast.
That was a fucking riot.
God damn it, dude. Oh, we're still on camera. We should probably not do that.